Hi guys, this is a re-recording of my presentation that I hold in Brussels at the conferences Raising Researchers' Voices that was conducted and organized by the European Commission. So the title of my presentation is the Ladder Leaning against the Right Wall, the relationship between expertise, passion, and happiness. So I'm going to start my presentation with following hypothesis that most researchers, young researchers, are scared to look stupid. In the course of the next 6 minutes, I'm going to present you three reasons that contribute to the anxiety of young researchers to look stupid. And in addition to that, I'd like to show a relationship between building expertise and developing passion and happiness for your research. Let's get started. The first reason that contributes to that anxiety of young researchers to look stupid are the expectations of society. Imagine you're at the cocktail party and you get asked the question, "What do you do for a living?" And you answer with a little pride, "Well, I work as a researcher at University XY." Chances are pretty high that your conversational partner assumes that you must be or that you might be a smart person. And to be honest, we like that image to be smart. And as a consequence, we're seeking out situations in which we can prove our competency, but likewise, we're trying to avoid situations in we might look stupid or incompetent. So this is really the first reason that contributes to the anxiety of young researchers, the expectations within society to be smart. Researchers are supposed to be smart. The second reason that contributes to that anxiety is the change in working mode as soon as you are pursuing your PhD. Until the point you are entering a PhD program, the only thing you needed to do was to replicate knowledge. The teacher told you what to learn, and you needed to replicate it. And that was enough to pass the test and to enter the next grade and level in education. And but as soon as you are pursuing a PhD, the requirements change fundamentally, because now you are supposed or you're expected to create original knowledge. And students who have been doing pretty well until the point of a PhD program are all of a sudden struggling a lot because of this fundamental change in requirements. And because of that, they view or they are feeling threatened. They feel that their image of being viewed smart is under threat. And that's the second reason. A change in working mode is the second reason that contributes to the anxiety to look stupid. And the third reason that contributes to that anxiety is a change in social environment. Imagine you were a basketball player, college basketball player, and you manage to get into the NBA, the National Basketball Association, the most competitive basketball league in the world, and all of a sudden you're playing with your idols and professional basketball players who have been playing for many years and who are far more experienced and probably in terms of skill sets far better than you. But you are really eager to not to look incompetent or not to look weak in front of your peers because you really want to prove yourselves. And the same kind of experience, the same kind of principle can be applied to young researchers as well. Before you are studying with your peers in graduate school, but as soon as you are done with your PhD, for instance, and you're working as a postdoc, you're really a professional academic, and all of a sudden, and you kind of feel that you're surrounded by geniuses, and the same experience prolongs when you're attending conferences. So you're really eager not to look stupid in front of your peers. So these three reasons, the first one, the expectations of society not to look stupid, the change in working mode from replicating knowledge to creating original knowledge, and the changing social environment all contribute to the anxiety of young researchers not to look stupid. And that anxiety can lead to the adoption of a so-called fixed mindset. According to Carol Dweck, who is a who is a psychology professor at Stanford and pioneered that mindset framework, she's saying that people with fixed mindset, they believe that intelligence is static, and those people with a fixed mindset, they're really afraid to look stupid in front of other people, and they're really afraid as a consequence to make mistakes because they fear that making mistakes would lead to other people's conclusion that they are stupid, and as a consequence to avoid challenges they only want to they put up with tests that they know for sure of that they are 100% capable of completing, and so as a consequence, they're not progressing as fast as people with a so-called growth mindset. Growth mindset people strongly believe that intelligence can be developed, and they love making mistakes because they view mistakes as an integral, essential part of learning. And the more mistakes they make, the better, and the faster they can progress. So yeah, so the big message here, the big takeaway message here is that it's really totally okay to make mistakes, and don't beat yourself up if you're making mistakes. View them as an opportunity to learn, and don't fall into the trap of hating making mistakes, because this leads to the adoption of a so-called fixed mindset, and this fixed mindset could actively prevent you from developing expertise, actually becoming the expert, the academic you really want to become in your chosen field of expertise. All right, so we have now covered the first psychological concept, expertise, how to develop expertise. So what about passion? And what about the relationship between passion, expertise, and happiness? We hear this a lot recently. Follow your passion. This seems to be follow your passion seems to be a default career advice by career counselors and by successful people. Follow your passion, and then you do not have to work one single day in your life. The problem is that really most of the people do not know yet what their true calling is, and if you know, and if we try to unveil the relationship between passion and developing expertise, for instance, most people would think that identifying your passion is the first step in order to develop expertise. But according to Cal Newport, he's a professor at Georgetown University, it's the other way around. He's saying that expertise leads to passion and not the other way around, because according to Cal Newport, the first thing is is of course interest in one specific area, for instance. But from that, you're really building expertise, and the more you know about the subject, for instance, the more passionate you become about the subject, about the field. But in addition to that, when you're in the development of becoming an expert in your chosen field, and you're also becoming an authority in you're becoming an authority in your field, and people recognize you as an authority, one very interesting thing happens, is that other people, the external world, is asking you for your expertise, for your input, and all of a sudden you have I mean, not all of a sudden, but you're now in the position to choose on which projects, on which tasks you really want to work on, right? So this increased level of autonomy also contributes to more passion inside your work, within your work. So again, to sum this up, the first thing is not necessarily passion, but it's actually expertise. And the more expertise you're developing, the more you're becoming authority within your chosen field of expertise. You're receiving more autonomy, and because of that autonomy, and this autonomy fuels more passion. Okay, so the takeaway messages I'd like you to give you along is, first of all, embrace making mistakes. It's really important, and do not fall into the trap of adopting a fixed mindset. Afterwards, and this is a natural consequence of that, is you're developing expertise naturally, and the more expertise you are developing, the more autonomous you're becoming, and you're getting more passionate about your work. And I think, and that's a personal assumption, you're becoming an overall happier researcher and human being. I'd like to end my presentation with following a very suitable proverb by Niels Bohr. An expert is a person who has made all the mistakes that can be made in a very narrow field. So if you would like to know more about if you would like to know more about made mistakes by professors and other experts, please check out the website How to Become a Professor si-hwan.com, in which I really interview people, unconventional professors and experts who have made all the mistakes that an expert really can make. And the goal is really to learn not only from your own mistakes, but to learn from other experts who have made them. All right, thank you so much. And yeah, if you liked that video, then please subscribe to our YouTube channel or visit us at howtobecomeaprofessor.com.